Right now, at this very moment, there are millions of Americans who are counting on Social Security to survive. Not to live comfortably, not to take vacations, to survive, to pay rent, to buy groceries, to cover their medication. And what I'm about to share with you could be the most important financial warning you hear all year. Because the money you were promised, the money you worked decades to earn, may not be there when you need it most. This is not a scare tactic. This is not political noise. This is math. Cold, hard, terrifying math. And if you are 50 or older, you need to stop everything you are doing right now and pay close attention. Because what happens in the next few years will directly affect your retirement, your lifestyle, and your financial security for the rest of your life. Let me start with something that most people don't know. The Social Security Trust Fund, the giant pool of money that funds your monthly benefits, is projected to be depleted within the next decade. Some projections say as early as 2033, others say 2034. And once that happens, if Congress does nothing, benefits could be automatically cut by as much as 21 to 23% across the board. That means if you are receiving $2,000 a month right now, you could suddenly be receiving $1,500. Just like that. No warning. No phase-in period. Gone. Think about what that means for your life. Think about someone like Margaret, a 68-year-old retired teacher from Ohio. She worked 35 years in the classroom. She paid into Social Security every single paycheck. She planned her retirement around that monthly benefit. And now she is watching the news, reading the headlines, and wondering if the ground is about to fall out from beneath her. She is not alone. There are over 70 million Americans receiving Social Security benefits right now, and tens of millions more are counting on it in the years ahead. But here's the shocking part. Most of them have no idea how close we really are to the edge. The reason the trust fund is running out is not a mystery. It is actually very simple. When Social Security was created back in 1935, there were about 40 workers paying into the system for every one retiree drawing benefits. Today, that ratio has collapsed. Right now, there are only about 2.8 workers supporting every one retiree. And as the baby boomer generation continues to age out of the workforce, that number keeps shrinking. The math simply does not work anymore. More people are taking money out. Fewer people are putting money in. And the gap is growing every single year. Now here is where it gets even more alarming. Congress has known about this problem for years, decades actually, and they have done almost nothing meaningful to fix it. There have been committee hearings, there have been proposals, there have been debates. But actual, real solutions, the kind that protect your benefits long-term, those have been nowhere to be found. And the longer they wait, the harder and more painful the fix becomes. Because at a certain point, the only options left are either massive cuts to benefits or enormous tax increases or some combination of both. There is no magic button. There is no secret fund hidden somewhere. The clock is ticking. And that brings us to something that most financial advisors are quietly whispering about, but not many people are saying out loud on camera. The people who will be hurt the most by a Social Security cut are not the wealthy. The wealthy have investment portfolios, they have real estate, they have multiple income streams. A 20% cut to their Social Security check is an inconvenience. But for someone whose Social Security benefit makes up 90% of their monthly income, and that describes nearly half of all seniors in America, a 20% cut is a catastrophe. It is the difference between paying your electric bill and sitting in the dark. If you are finding this information valuable, I want to ask you right now to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel, because we cover these topics every single week, and I promise you, the information we share here could save you thousands of dollars in retirement. We do not sugarcoat things. We tell you the truth. And right now, the truth is something a lot of people need to hear. So let us talk about something that is happening right now that is making this whole situation even more dangerous. There is a very real political battle happening in Washington over what to do about Social Security. And depending on which side wins that battle, the outcome for everyday Americans could be dramatically different. Some lawmakers are pushing to raise the full retirement age. Right now, for most people born after 1960, the full retirement age is 67. Some proposals want to push that to 69 or even 70. And what that means is simple. If you are planning to retire at 67 and collect your full benefit, you might suddenly find yourself waiting 2 or 3 more years to get what you were promised. For people in physically demanding jobs, construction workers, nurses, warehouse employees, working until 70 is not just inconvenient. It is physically impossible for many of them. Other proposals are looking at cutting benefits for higher earners, which sounds reasonable on the surface. But the definition of higher earner when it comes to these discussions is often much lower than you would expect. And middle-class retirees who did everything right, who saved, who worked hard, who contributed, could find themselves on the losing end of a political compromise they never agreed to. Here is another piece of this puzzle that almost nobody is talking about: inflation. We all lived through what happened over the last few years. Prices for groceries, for gas, for housing, for healthcare, they exploded. And while Social Security does have something called the cost of living adjustment, or COLA, it does not always keep pace with the real costs that seniors face. Healthcare costs for older Americans rise much faster than general inflation, and Social Security's COLA formula does not fully account for that. So even before any potential cuts happen, many seniors are already falling behind. Their benefits are technically going up each year, but their purchasing power is quietly shrinking. It is like running on a treadmill. You are moving, but you are not getting anywhere. Think about a couple like Robert and Linda, both in their early 70s, living in a suburb of Phoenix. They thought they had planned well. They had Robert's Social Security, Linda's smaller benefit from her part-time work, and a modest savings account. But over the last 2 years, their grocery bill went up by nearly 30%. Their Medicare supplement premiums increased, their property taxes went up, and that savings account they worked so hard to build is draining faster than they ever imagined. Now add a potential 20% cut to their Social Security benefits on top of all of that. You can see how quickly a manageable retirement becomes a crisis. But here is something important I want you to understand. This is not hopeless. There are things you can do right now to protect yourself. And the first and most powerful thing is simply this: awareness. The people who get hurt the worst in any financial crisis are the people who did not see it coming. The people who assumed everything would be fine. The people who trusted that someone else would figure it out. Do not be that person. By watching this video, you are already doing what millions of Americans are not doing. You are paying attention. The second thing you need to think seriously about is your claiming strategy. When you claim Social Security matters enormously. If you claim early at 62, your benefit is permanently reduced by up to 30% compared to waiting until your full retirement age. And if you can wait until 70, your benefit grows by 8% for every year you delay past your full retirement age. Now, waiting is not always possible. Not everyone has that luxury, but if you have any ability to wait or any other income source to bridge the gap, the difference in lifetime benefits can be enormous. We are talking about potentially tens of thousands of dollars over the course of a retirement. The third thing, and this is urgent, is to diversify your income. Social Security was never designed to be your only income source. It was designed to be one leg of a three-legged stool, along with a pension and personal savings. But most Americans today do not have pensions, and many have not saved nearly enough. That means Social Security has become the entire stool for millions of people, and a stool with one leg tips over. So if you are still working, even part-time, now is the time to be serious about contributing to a retirement account, an IRA, a Roth IRA, a 401k, if your employer offers one. Even small contributions made consistently over time can build a meaningful cushion. Now here is something that surprises a lot of people. Many seniors are leaving significant Social Security money on the table simply because they do not know the rules. Did you know that if you are divorced and your marriage lasted at least 10 years, you may be entitled to collect Social Security benefits based on your ex-spouse's work record? And collecting on their record does not reduce their benefit at all. Did you know that if your spouse passes away, you can switch to their benefit if it is higher than yours? These are called survivor benefits, and they are often worth thousands of dollars per year. But people do not claim them because nobody tells them. The Social Security Administration is not going to call you up and say, "Hey, you are leaving money on the table. You have to know to ask." And here is another thing that very few people understand until it is too late. Your Social Security benefits may be taxable. Up to 85% of your Social Security income can be subject to federal income tax depending on your total income. If you have a pension, investment income, or withdrawals from a traditional IRA, those can push your combined income above the threshold, and suddenly a big chunk of your Social Security goes right back to the government. Working with a financial professional to understand how to manage your income in retirement can literally save you thousands of dollars every year in unnecessary taxes. The fourth thing you need to do right now is contact your elected representatives. I know that sounds basic. I know a lot of people feel like their voice does not matter. But here is the truth. When Congress gets flooded with calls and letters and emails from seniors and near retirees, they listen. Social Security is the third rail of American politics. Politicians know that if they slash benefits for seniors without offering real solutions, there are consequences at the ballot box. Your voice, combined with millions of others, has real power. Do not underestimate that. Go to congress.gov right now. Find your representative and your senators. Send them a message. Tell them Social Security matters to you. Tell them you are watching. Tell them you are voting. The fifth and most important thing I want to leave you with today is this: do not wait. That is the message underneath everything I have shared with you in this video. The people who come out on the right side of big financial changes are always the people who acted before the crisis, not after. Right now, you still have time to adjust your plans. You still have time to work with a financial advisor and stress test your retirement strategy. You still have time to look at your claiming options, your tax situation, your savings, and your budget. But that window is not going to stay open forever. The trust fund projections are not a rumor. The political dysfunction in Washington is not going away anytime soon. Inflation is not done with us. And the longer you assume that things will work themselves out on their own, the less time you have to protect yourself. I want you to think about someone you love right now, a parent, a spouse, a friend who is counting on Social Security. Now imagine getting a phone call from them in 2033 telling you that their check just got cut by 20% and they do not know how they are going to make rent. That call does not have to happen. Not if people like you and me take this seriously right now and start having the conversations that need to be had. Share this video with someone you care about. Post it, text it, email it. Because the information in this video is exactly the kind of thing that most people will not hear until it is too late. And they deserve to know. This is your financial future we are talking about. This is the money you earned, the money you sacrificed for, the money you were promised. Fight for it, plan for it, protect it, because nobody is going to do it for you. The warning signs are all there. The question is whether you are going to take them seriously. Do not leave this video without subscribing if you have not already. We are going to keep covering these issues because they matter, because you matter, and because when it comes to your retirement, the truth, even when it is uncomfortable, is always better than the alternative.